Hello on this Friday. Thanks for joining me. I'm Anna Cabrera, and we are just getting some new information in that manhunt near Chicago for 3 suspects wanted in the shooting death of Police Lieutenant Joe Gillowitz. Now, investigators just moments ago briefed reporters about a number of videos that they have gotten, saying they now have several videos, in fact, that could give police their first glimpse of the 3 suspects. A massive manhunt continues across northern Illinois. And the community is still on edge as we head into this long holiday weekend, and everybody's still on the loose. Officer Gillowitz is a local hero who is set to retire at the end of the month. CNN's Rosa Flores is following this for us from Fox Lake, Illinois. And also with us, we have former New Jersey Police Detective Steve Rogers. First to you, Rosa. I know you were just listening to that briefing. What is the very latest?
You know, the commander put it like this. He said that they have new golden nuggets of information, and that is those surveillance videos, Anna. So what he says that they're working on right now is putting these videos together in almost like a geographic and also timeline sequence to piece it all together. And he says that so far it's all making sense. We kept on asking to see if they could see those 3 suspects that we've been hearing about, to see if we could get a better description of these suspects, but nothing yet. So they're working on those golden pieces of information that could give us a face to these cop killers, who could put a face to these cop killers. Now, the other big takeaway from today is about the weapon recovered at the scene. The commander confirming that it is indeed the officer's weapon. Take a listen.
There were some questions asked about a weapon recovered yesterday. I can confirm today that it was the officer's weapon that was recovered at the scene. We received confirmation yesterday when we're following up on some forensics from that weapon as we speak.
Now, he also added that that weapon was recovered nearby the body of Lieutenant Gillowitz. Now, we know that the body was found about 50 yards from his police cruiser. Now, like you mentioned, this is a holiday weekend, and a lot of people are expected to descend upon this community specifically for this weekend. Now, Anna, here's another very important note, and that's the fact that a lot of the homes in this area are summer homes. People are not there, so they're expecting and they're preparing for people to come into their homes and perhaps notice something out of the ordinary. So they have agents ready to go, ready to listen and hear for those tips as they come in, and for them to dispatch agents to these areas. The FBI also here at this press conference for the first time, and they now have an FBI tip line that they're offering up, and that is for anyone to call, and that tip line is 1-800-CALL-FBI. Anna?
All right, Rosa Flores reporting. Any idea, Rosa, before we let you go, when we might see images from those videos?
You know, we've asked that question, and they don't know at this point in time. They said the answer to that question was, we will tell you more when we're getting ready to make an arrest.
All right, let me turn to Steve then, because obviously that is the big question. Who are these people? And you would think it would behoove them to show possible images of the suspects in order to try to identify them.
Well, you're right. Look, the police commander said they had golden nuggets, but as Tom Fuentes on CNN said earlier, what's baffling individuals like us is, what is Homeland Security doing with that golden nugget? That's 3 days that this crime was committed ago. That video should have been analyzed already and brought back to local police, and let the people know what these images look like, because there's where you're going to get your tip.
What might be the holdup?
I have no idea. I've worked over the 38 years that I've been in law enforcement with the FBI. Excellent, extraordinary organization. I believe they would have had this, as Tom said earlier, down in Quantico and back within 24 to 48 hours.
Rosa mentioned a little bit of new information we're learning about the weapon, and they have now confirmed it was indeed the officer's weapon that they found at the scene. They also have told us that it was discharged, but they aren't saying how many times it was fired, and they're also not saying whether they believe it's the murder weapon. Why do you think they wouldn't come forward on that?
Well, a lot of times they will not want to compromise an investigation investigation, and they would know why. But I could tell you, they are doing extraordinary work. I'm very impressed by the amount of work they're doing and how they're doing it. But now that they have a weapon, they may be able to get DNA off that weapon, a fingerprint off that weapon, even a scent for one of those canine dogs may lead them somewhere. So they're doing pretty good work down there, and hopefully these leads will get them to where they want to go.
When you talk about possible DNA evidence, how long does it usually take to process some of the evidence collected at the scene for DNA evidence where we will know whether or not there is a valid fingerprint?
Well, I've seen it done rather quickly. Now, rather quickly could be between 3 days and a week. Again, it's the technology that we have, how much DNA is on there. I'm not a scientist, so I don't want to venture into that area. But I could tell you this. We are so good, when I say we, law enforcement and the FBI in particular, are so good at what they do, this thing should be turned around quickly.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us,
You're
Steve
welcome.
Rogers. Really good to have your insight.